All right, guys. Joe's going to do a little bit of arm work, and he's going to do a little bit of neck work that we do with the strap and little weight plates. He's going to do a little arm work with lower weight dumbbells. He'll put reps in and not worry about weight. You don't want to lift heavy weight for boxing. And we'll let you see that. Yesterday he did 600 push-ups and 600 free squats. Did a lot of bag work and did some other things with the footwork, shadow boxing, just a bunch of stuff. And I taped a whole lot of that and had this mic on, and the mic did not work. So we did a mic test, and hopefully we'll be able to put this video up. The other video was very good. It had a lot more of what we actually do. So I don't know, but we're in the house right now, always working. Joe, we're going to go into the gym in the morning. Joe is going to do floor crawls that he does. I'm not sure, we call them floor crawls. Maybe you call them crab walks now, but you get down in a push-up stance and you just go with your legs and your feet. He's going to do a lot of that tomorrow and some other things, and he's going to do a tremendous amount of heavy bag work. I got asked a question here a while back, why don't you float around on the heavy bag? And what I'm meaning by that is just hitting the heavy bag light, and we don't do that. You get on the heavy bag, you're gonna hit that bag. So reflex bags, a little different. Joe has actually broken many solid steel springs on the reflex bag, and this is not the bag that Ryan Garcia. You put him on one of those that Canelo or Garcia's using, and he's going to snap it in a few minutes probably, which they're fiberglass. So his reflex bag's just solid steel. It's a lot more heavy duty, like they used to be many decades ago, and the reflex bags are not new. But Joe's getting set up right now, and he's going to start doing some arm work. You're not going to do triceps, are you? Okay. We're doing no more tricep work because he does thousands of push-ups and during the course of a week, and it's just not, we're not doing it. So, and when he does not do push-ups every single day, folks. So I've stressed that, don't do some every day, but with the high rate of that he's inputting and outputting with these things, even with the setups, we're doing 3-4 times a week. So that's just what we do, but you got to do what's good for you. And I'm going to tell a story, one of the stories that I said yesterday. Of course, we got no sound because the mic wasn't working. Anyway, he's getting ready. So sit back. Don't let it be boring, because if you got the patience to listen to an old man, I'm going to give you a few stories. So whenever you're ready, son. I'm going to move this fan a little bit. We do have a fan going in here. Well, really, if you just do these, I'm showing, I'm off camera, but I'm speaking to Joe here. But do those, and then do these, and then maybe do one where you hold it here and just go about 4 inches or so. About that much. So this is probably stuff you guys do, but we just go from one thing to the next thing without a bunch of like sets of one thing. And then now Rocky's going to start showing his fanny. That's our German Shepherd, for those of you that may be new here. He'll do 2 or 3 exercises and a supersetted loop, then he'll stop and rest for about a minute and get back on it. Highly different than bodybuilding, and you don't want to bodybuild if you're going to be in the fight game. You just don't. So anyway, I'm going to go on. I'm going to tell you a little political thing here. It stood the test of time. Reagan said this several decades ago, and it was funny then. It's still funny today. So the Democratic National Convention was being held, and this boy comes up there, this young boy, and he's outside. You know, they vend, they sell things. He's outside of the DNC, the Democrat Convention, and he's selling kittens. And he's got a kitten in each hand and holding them up. Kittens for sale, the boy's saying. He says, Democrat kittens for sale. Get your Democrat kittens. And the press sees him out there. Everybody going in the convention sees him. And so 10 days later, they had the Republican National Convention. It's in a different city. And people are coming up. They're going in the convention center for the Republican convention. And there's a lot of press out there. And these press people had seen this kid 10 days prior at the Democrat convention, and they see him out there, kids holding up, kitten in each hand. Says, kittens, get your Republican kittens are here. So some of the press folks walk up to the boy, and they ask him, said, wasn't you just 10 days ago at the Democrat convention saying these kittens were Democrat kittens? And what in the word? Now you're saying these kittens are Republican kittens. And the kid goes, well, exactly. They're the same kittens. They've just opened their eyes. So put 2 and 2 together. I'm not even going to explain the eye opening for kittens and puppies. You know, of course, they're born with their eyes not open. So he said, these kittens are now Republican kittens. They've opened their eyes. So we do a lot of old school stuff around here, and I really got on an old man rant yesterday. So let me tell you what happened today. Really happened yesterday. I just saw it today. If any of you like peekaboo boxing, there's a YouTube channel. It's called Peekaboo Academy, and you should go check this channel out. There's a younger fella, he's a boxer. He's still a baby to me, but he's a man. But he's a younger fella. He's got his head screwed on straight. Outstanding kid that's doing this. And he's doing it out of Cus D'Amato's gym in the Catskills in the township. And evidently he put this video out yesterday saying he wasn't going to be able to do it, and he was moving on. And he started that video saying why and what got him to stop him. And, the township has took over the gym up there in the Catskills. And they have a curator that comes in there, but it's an open gym. The kids can go. And this young man was so committed. He's an expert on really Tyson, Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres, and other peekaboo champions that did the peekaboo style. He is really into the psychology of boxing, and his aim was obviously, as any boxing trainer's aim, is to produce champions, world champions. If anybody tells you different, they're crazy. And you don't need to get your training from them. Your ultimate goal is, get one out of 1,000 or maybe 5,000. It's going to be a world champion. It's just the goal any decent trainer should have. And so anyway, kids on there, and said the curator, the guy that takes care of the place, was in there telling him, you being in here and you doing these YouTube videos, and he's got like 26,000 people on his channel. I'm not positive, but I don't think the channel is even monetized. And it's eligible to be monetized. And so the kid's not in there just, I'm going to YouTube make money. He is in there with many former Cus D'Amato students, and they're older fellas, and they come that were in the area, and they come and they show him things, and they show us things, and this kid's got the psychology of this boxing with the goal in it that most people that start boxing, I'd say probably most, are people that they want to be more manly. They want to stand up to the bully or things like that. And said the guy curating it come in there and said, you're just doing it. This benefits nobody but you. Yet he's in that gym every day training kids that go to that gym, and he's not being paid for it. And so the curator basically ran him off. And folks, this is Mike Tyson's former gym. This is Floyd Patterson's former gym. This is Jose Torres' former gym. And countless other guys, champions in the amateur ranks and such, and other pro champions. And this cotton picking, I'm going to keep it clean. I got more choice words for this guy, but I ain't going to use them. But you can imagine what they'd be. In there running this guy off, and this guy's really helping these young people. Carrying on what Cus D'Amato did. And a lot of people don't know Cus's thing was helping young people. That's my thing. That's got an ultimate goal of a world championship for Joe here. Joe's in another world, and like I said, you're lucky if it's a 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 5,000 that you come in contact with, that you know right on, hey, this one's got the ability for it. This is not normal. This one's out working everybody. This one has talent in this area or that area. They don't just come into the boxing gym every day. Most people come in, they want to learn to defend themselves, and then maybe they leave. many different reasons why a fella goes into a boxing gym, a young fella. So anyway, I found out this afternoon. I hope this situation is corrected, and that little township pissant is ran off, because it exactly what Custody Amato would have wanted from any of us that have met him, including myself, would have been that that the gym is continued and that young folk are helped. Joe's changing the weight. So I'm going to continue the story. So I found out today that Mike Tyson was sitting in the schoolhouse right there in the Catskills, right up there in Catskill Township, because he was working on something for Netflix. And I wasn't able to get word directly to him, but I hope somebody is getting word directly to him, because that was a crap show, and they probably wanted to get that kid out of there because they knew Mike was coming, because this kid did not mention one thing about having any knowledge that Mike Tyson was going to be there. So I called the township. There's actually a city as well. I called both of them and started doing a little scooping and people talk. And hang on a second, folks. People talk, and they've more than likely just ran this kid out and didn't want him to be there and didn't want to have nobody else for Mike to center around on his visit today except these township pieces of junk. So, let me tell you why this is really important to us personally. Joe and I, when we do get back to the United States, had every intention of going up there, renting a little place for a while, and Joe being able to train where Tyson trained. And we were under the impression that this young fella would be there, so we could converse with him on the psychology of the sport, which is a boatload of the sport, folks, which is a boatload of the sport. So we're highly disappointed up in here. And when I say highly disappointed, that curator wouldn't want to be around me for 10 seconds flat. He just wouldn't. Of course, I don't know every side of the story, but when little birds talk, they sing loudly. And I am convinced that what the young man was saying was the gospel truth. I even think that some of the men that Cuss trained are trying to ease back up in there, and maybe they've got the thought that they want to start a YouTube channel or something. So it's all politics going on. But Mike Tyson needs to know about this. That gym should have never fell into the hands of local government. I don't know exactly when it did fall in their hands, but I'm sure it was when Mike Tyson was kind of on his knees at one of those points. So, and Mike Tyson needs to know, if anybody is carrying on Custody Amato's legacy, it would be that kid. So we do a lot of peekaboo type style work. We incorporate a lot of the things in it. but we don't go strictly by that. And you guys know that. But this kid and what he's doing is from A to Z exactly what Mike, Jose Torres, Floyd Patterson, and countless others went through from A to Z. And I am highly upset about that. But you look around, right before the year before the Olympics, this past Olympics, Boxing USA, for example, was more concerned with dessert baking classes and putting that up on, to fat kids, nothing really all that healthy to the kids. I get so angry with the mentality going on in this world. Boxing USA needs to be totally overhauled. We went from, and it's jackasses like this curator up there with that township that blow things for everybody. And the same type of jackasses are political in Boxing USA. And all forms of these jackasses need to be cleaned out of anything to do with boxing. Sport in general, teaching in general, they need to be cleaned out. And so we're upset about that. Joe, you're upset about it. Joe, that man wouldn't want to be around Joe either right now. And not that we would hit the guy or nothing like that, but he'd damn sure get a tongue thrashing from this old man. And he'd get one from Joe, whom don't talk much. Joe would give him the eewee-jeebie stare down. So, really, I was talking about Boxing USA and got all riled up on that yesterday, and the mic wasn't working, but it's just everything's getting weak. You got a lot of effeminate people, and you don't need feminism in boxing. You don't need it. I mean, you even have to toughen the girls up. I'm not a huge fan of the girls in this sport. I'm old. It don't mesh right with me. It might with you. Maybe you're 45, 50 years old or younger, and maybe you've grew up in a world where you saw that. But in the world I grew up in, that was never going on. So I'm not big into it, but I don't discourage it, and I'd train a gal in a second. I'd love to. I'd work with a girl. Well, we have. Well, as Joe's saying, we have. And well, that's right. We have, yeah. So, I wasn't even thinking about that. I have worked with and trained girls before. But, it's not my cup of tea. But what I am saying, you even got to toughen them up and get them more bold. Not like a lioness, but like a lion. And that's just what the sport is. It's the sport you ain't gonna be playing. Boxing's a sport you don't play, and all this stuff. You look on. Every other time I go on Instagram, who's the golden boy? What's that boy's name? The golden boy.
Ryan?
No.
Golden Boy?
Yeah, Golden Boy Productions. Is that damn man's name? I can't think of his name here. What?
De La Hoya?
Yeah, De La Hoya. Yeah. All right. Like half the times you turn on. Not taking away from his skill or him being a champion, but you get on Instagram. These kids get on Instagram. They see him standing there half naked with a sun-baked whore. as maybe his wife or whatever, and just was sick stuff. And no, I don't like it, and it ain't good for the sport. And if you got to sell the actual boxing part out to have the sport, then you ain't got boxing no more. You just don't have boxing no more. So, I mean, it's just the way it is. Then, half the, who's the guy, 6'6" or 7, yeah, Wilder, last champion we had, teetotal paper champion. Soon as he faced one of the big boys over there in the UK, is all to hell for him. Got completely demolished by a slow giant. Not talking about Wilder, but talking about the Chinese cat. And then seeing him running around with a damn dress on and acting effeminate while he's trying to act tough emotionally. And the ones that have to yell and scream all the time, and I'm not talking about Ali did it in a different way, and boxers of the past mouth yapped in a different way, but these damn boys today sitting there all effeminate and up there, half of them have damn makeup on for the camera and crap like that, and had painted fingernails, and oh God, and I'm telling you, those guys have no idea what wicked their way comes. So boxing today is not nowhere as manly as boxing was in decades past. And after the 1990s, something got stole. And I believe it was men's manlyhood that got stolen. I think boxing is reflecting society and different societies. We sit around here and we just work, and Joe'll sit and watch somebody, and he'll, there'll be a champion today, and Joe'll be like, I got this guy pegged. Even not having full settled man strength, I think I could take this guy. If I could get him in the first 2 rounds, he'd be done in 4. And I'm sitting there believing it. And the reason why is we carry ourselves like strong men up in around here. We outwork everybody else. Why not? Why would you not believe it? So, I'm just telling you.
Can you stop me right quick?
Yeah.
Just my left arm.
Where are you going? Okay. You got it. Come on.
Okay.
You got him?
Yeah.
All right. Kind of pushed a little bit. I kind of maybe did a little bit too much work there for you. So we're not doing no tricep work. And really, if we wanted at the house, we wouldn't be doing this. Now, shrugs and military presses, standing military presses, we're going to keep doing them. Deadlifts, no. Now, oh man, why are you against deadlifts? I'm not really against deadlifting. I just don't understand it, and in my day never saw anybody do deadlifts. So maybe something will change here if a strength and conditioning guy comes in and is working with Joe. He starts doing some deadlifts and starts benefiting from it, then yeah, of course. A lot of people think, well, he's closed-minded, that old man. And really I'm not, folks, but I am insistent that if somebody's going to be doing newfangled things, they're going to be doing that on top of the old school stuff. And that's what we do. So, And we lift too much. Joe does a lot of barbell squats and things of that nature, but he does hundreds and thousands of body weight squats, and that's what I believe in. But he does do some squatting and with some weights as well. So there's a lot of stuff. We do a lot of back work, and we do a lot of things, guys. We do this right here, and then we'll put a cushion down, and Joe will lift himself up. But this is new school to me, but I think it's safer for your neck, so I prefer that he does this way. So there you see it. There's something new school. I do attest to, but you got to have a strong neck, and you're gonna be in this field. You gonna take some weight off or put some on?
I didn't bring it.
You're gonna have to add some. And really, nothing beats getting on the edge of the bed or getting on the edge of a ring and doing getting your head off the edge of the ring or a bed surface, something that's really firm though, and laying down, having your head hanging off the edge, and doing head lifts from laying on your back and doing head lifts. That's very good as well. We've just been getting away from the getting on the. Haven't done a whole lot here lately, but he's still done some from where you lay on your back and lift your body up with your neck. We do so many things around here. And then there's school on top of that, and Joe excels great at the academics. He's an academic champion. And a lot of you probably think, well, he pushes Joe so much, and the reality of it is Joe pushes me. Now, in the beginning, I pushed the heck out of Joe. I was like, he's my son. I took a little bit of extra care there and a little bit more liberty than I would have with somebody else's kid. And what would that be, may you ask? And that would be, in the beginning, I wanted to know that this was really what Joe wanted to do, because it is a demanding sport, So, and a lot of you that watch regularly, you know this, and I'm repeating myself over and over, but Joe spent 7 or 8 weeks, 3 times a week, getting the crap beat out of him in the boxing gym by a Venezuelan professional that outweighed him significantly, and the guy was a professional. And he beat the living hell out of Joe 3 times a week. Joe was always coming home with something bloody every night. We're on the way back and there's something bloody. And it's just what you got to work. You got to work. Well, I hope it don't come undone. That thing comes out and hits that floor, it's going to make a loud noise. So, at the beginning, I wanted to make sure it's really what he wanted to do. And Joe started telling me, because we'd be on the way back, I was like, son, you think you want to keep doing this? Are you okay, son? And of course, I got to watch fly. I'm in control. But Joe really got beat up for three and 4 times some weeks. Got the crap beat out of him by this guy. And every night when we walk out there, had him up there 6 days a week like we train now. But we'd be on the way back, and I'd say, Joe would be telling me, what don't kill you will make you stronger. And that's what I always told him when he was even younger than when he started, you know. He'd get sick, and I'd be like, what don't kill you will make you stronger. And I always had that saying. And most of you have heard that countless times, I'm sure. What don't kill you will make you stronger. And he had that mentality about him, and then before you know it, he's beating everybody up. And then after a year, a little over a year, he ended up mopping the floor up with a professional. And even that kid, who is now and was then, but had been for very long, a trainer. And we had some time away from the guy, and the guy came up to visit us, and I got him up here, and I said, go to it, go full blast. And he was like, what in the world have you done with him? Because I ain't never been hit like that. And Joe was laying the smack on him, and repeatedly, the 3 or 4 days he was with us, he was like, oh my gosh, you got to show me how to do this. And I was like, I can show you some stuff to make your punches harder, but to make these punches so heavy, it's just something you got or you don't. I don't know how. And maybe it's something that maybe isn't just either you got it or you don't. I just don't know how to build on that. I wouldn't begin to know how to tell a fella to be able to punch heavier. Now, on YouTube, there's 1,000,000 and thrice people that do know how to do that, but really they don't know nothing, because what they're telling you ain't right. Just you're not going to be able to hit heavy and this hard unless you're born with it. But punchers are made as well, and I always tell you guys that. But certain types are not. You're born with it. So, and you know what was it? It was thousands of hours of training, and then Joe able to whoop the master at the beginning of it. And you know, none's better. You know, you're a kid, and you getting beat up by a man in the boxing that was a very, very good professional, by the way. And then, you know, a year or so later, you're able to not only take that guy to bear, but able to knock him out at will and playing with the master. See? And it's unusual. And it, you know, it's like the guy was told Joe repeatedly, man, you got something special going on here. And Joe would tell him, it's nothing special. We just work hard every day. And he's like, oh no, there's something very special going on here. And but I attribute it to the work ethic. And so in the beginning, I pushed Joe some. I pushed him a lot, but now I don't push him. Half the time he's dragging me out of here and dragging me up to the gym. He loves it. He knows any gym he goes into, he's going to be the man. I mean, of course, that don't mean, I'm going to go in where Usyk and Fury are training and be the man. You give me, take what I'm telling you within reason, folks. But it's literally that. And he would be there, because they'd all be looking at him at his age and be going, oh my gosh. And they'd be respecting on Joe. That's exactly what would happen. They'd be like, wow. You know, just like everybody else is wowed. So, are we done with this? Because I'm about done telling the story. Isn't it amazing? He said some works, and I just yapped the trap. So, anyway, folks, I want to tell y'all we love you. If you sat through all this, you got the patience to be able to be a good boxer. You got the wherewithal to listen to an older fella and some of the wisdom. Maybe you don't get what I'm telling you now. Maybe a year from now you will. Maybe 10 years from now. But because I know in my lifetime I had the patience. I'd sit around and listen to the old fellas. And sometimes it took me decades to say, man, everything they were saying was spot on. So not all of it, but most of it. And anyway, I'm going to tell y'all we love y'all. In this like normal, Christ is King, Lord, and Savior up in here. And we hope that he is up in where you are too. And we hope everybody has a great weekend. And we'll have some more stuff to put out over the weekend, guys. Much love to you all.